Hi, welcome. This is the Build and Grow 21 Odyssey, growing with you on the tube. I'm your host here, Tony Teolis, and just making a list of early chores that I have to get done, not necessarily in order. I thought it would be important to make sure I start writing some of these down because last year I didn't get to protecting the grapes against rot early enough. I should do that now as I prune what I can. Like we've got to go around tonight, and I want to share pruning of the tomatoes. I put tomatoes in the ground recently, just about 2 to 3 weeks, over a 2 to 3 week period. They're growing up nice. It must be about 10, 12 plants growing up nice. And I notice where they're growing biggest and first is going to be on the south side here. So I want to go over to those plants, and they really need the runners cut. And they really need the runners cut. And they really need the runners cut. And the runners are where you have your main stem of a tomato plant, okay? Like this. This is the ground. Plant comes up and it gets off branches like that. And the runner is the one that grows right in the middle of the Y sections and starts to, get the little leaves there. And before it gets any big, I like to get them when they're tiny. I'll show how I come in with a knife and just snip them off. So where the tomatoes grow from where two branches meet, those are called runners right there. And you want to come in and get rid of them, and show you how to do that next. The reason we do that is then this energy that would have been taken up here is better expended into this branch, which will give off more leaves, which will give off more branches of more tomatoes. That's what we're getting down to. And what I concentrate around here on are not big tomatoes, not even meatball-sized tomatoes, because the squirrels get to them before I do, just about ripe, and they only come in to take a bite because they're thirsty, and that's what they do with tomatoes. And I don't put it. There's enough water around the property. If they wanted to look, they could find it. They just like making a mess of tomatoes, I'm convinced. But technically, they do it for the water. They'll take a bite. They'll throw the rest away. Just as I suspect recently with the strawberries. The tomatoes we grow are right now, this year, cherry tomato, Matt's wild cherry tomato. Years of success with that plant. Wouldn't grow any other cherry tomato because I can't keep up with this one. And the other one's called Everlasting. Seeds all from Southern Exposure Seed Exchange in Mineral, Virginia, just as most of the other seeds are. And we'll show all of those in turn, but like I said, tonight I think the chore is going to be the tomatoes. That's the most pressing. Again, what I will bring along is my favorite night farming tool, right? Smith & Wesson Extreme Ops. Very cool. Yellow tape on it's for me because everything's black, and at nighttime this shows up pretty easily. Really great. Coming in, we're going to see how well. I haven't used this to prune any tomato runners yet. So first year using this knife. So we'll see what it looks like and how easy it is and how important it is to prune these tomatoes so you can get lots of them all summer. And if you do it right, fall. That's right. We were picking tomatoes up until October this past fall. We're going to try to do it again. We're not trying to push any luck or whatever, but that's just the way it goes if you pay attention little by little. Another important part about this is growing the tomatoes along a path of where they'll produce little by little afterwards. So they start out here maybe in July, middle of July, will start to be pulled tomatoes on the south side, and those will last probably till September. And then these ones back here, all the different tomato plants will come online within the next 4 weeks and produce into October. So, again, it's up to Mother Nature. We set all the pieces in place we maintain as best we can. We don't interfere. We don't have to. And tonight's one of the times where we do have to go in. I've already observed. I'll show on camera what the runners look like, and then it's going to be time to snip them away. So this is the finest tomato specimen so far. And be careful how I step in here. And right here, where, see my forefinger here, and the thing that I'm touching is a runner. It's right where two branches, or where this branch comes off, and there's one there. There's one at each branch. See how big that is? I could probably just pull that off, right? This one here. And I want to come in and cut, so I'll set a better angle and show how I do this. Let's see here. There we go. Again, Smith & Wesson, Extreme Ops, only like 12 bucks on Amazon. Now this plant right here, growing next to the tomato, is oregano. They grow very nice together. And let's see. How about right here? I'm going to come in and just cut this little sucker just like that. Okay? See, it would be good to get it when it's smaller. I'm usually pretty good at getting these when they're smaller. This one, you know, it's about an inch big. Let's see there. That one's about an inch big. And we just drop it in the garden. Come in. Look at this one. We see that the Extreme Ops does a great job of getting this done. We see the Extreme Ops does a great job of getting the job done. Do that. So this would be, what is this? Runner number 3. Okay. 4. So if I pull off 5 runners here, this is good stuff. Little stems there at the bottom. And if you remember, the way that I plant these tomatoes from earlier videos was I laid this down. So this tomato is actually laying long ways underground, and then this is just the head popping back up. So under this, down underneath my hand, is a whole tomato plant of roots growing. They're growing as deep as they can. This is going to be a good plant here if I keep up with the maintenance. And I think that's it for today. Just that one plant there. So there you have it. Pruning a tomato plant. Make sure you have a sharp knife. Now this knife is also really good for harvesting lettuce. So, you know, here's a fresh piece of lettuce right there. I don't do anything to my plants. I don't, you know, put any pesticide or anything on them. And so they become instant snacks. So I'll get a bag and I'm going to come in and harvest tonight's salad. So there you have it. If your tomato plants are growing like this and you're around zone 7 and you haven't done so already, then you might be behind schedule in coming in to take the runners off of your tomato plant. Now we see that this is a couple of bunches right here like that, and that's fine. I'm just going to let that grow. The important thing was coming off, taking off all of these energy robbers that were down here, but we want to let these main stems continue to grow out too. And again, growing around a variety of plants really helps. This will be some squash coming up. Really helps to get a lot of production underway in a short period of time. Thanks for watching, and make sure you get prepared by getting your tomato plants and making sure the runners get pruned.